Hello, everyone. This is 12 Gauge, and I just wanted to get on here for a little bit and discuss the Kansas City shootings. And there's been new information brought about that I'd like to share with you. So let's get on it. First of all, if you like my page, give me a like to comment, give some feedback, do as you wish. I really enjoy reading them. Thank you so much. Let's get on this. Okay, it says two Kansas City Chiefs parade shooting suspect are juveniles who were having a personal dispute. 10 questioned over the gun chaos that killed one, injured 21, and shamed the city on this big day. The Kansas City police chief said at a Thursday morning press conference the shooting is believed to have been triggered by a personal dispute. Two of the three suspects currently detained by Kansas City cops over the horror Super Bowl parade mass shooting are juveniles, the official stated Thursday. Two of the three suspects currently detained by the Kansas City cops over the horror mass shooting are juvenile. That's what I just said. Speaking at the press conference outside the city's police headquarters, Kansas City Police Chief Stacey Graves said investigators believe the shooting was triggered by a personal dispute between a small group and the parade was not the target. The shooting on Wednesday saw 21 people shot and one killed, and one of the killed was confirmed to be the death of a beloved Kansas City radio DJ. That's so sad. Let's see if this video will play. I guess it really doesn't have anything to say. This is a dispute that ended in gunfire, said the chief, who said a total of 10 people were questioned in the aftermath and further arrests are possible. Officials said that over 24 victims ranged from age 8 to 47. At least half were under the age of 16. There is the chief of police, Stacey Graves. There's two of the juvenile suspects in custody. There's another one. Don't know if he was. It says a man in a red tracksuit was quickly taken into custody after the shooting, although it is unclear if he was involved in the tragedy. There's people running. Now, who would stop long enough to take a picture as people were running? Maybe they got a video and they just stopped this and they got the shot. You know what I mean? It says Graves said that the incident appeared to be fueled by Kansas City rampant gun violence issues and does not have any nexus or connection to terrorism at this time. The city's fire chief spoke briefly at the press conference and said that at least 8 victims remain in critical condition. Images circulating on social media show at least 5 people being taken into custody following the shooting. Several of them appear to be juveniles and were pictured being handcuffed and hauled away by cops. It is unclear which, if any, of those photographs are among the 3 suspects. One of the suspects was wearing a yellow Patrick Mahomes jersey as he was cuffed by police. The KC Police Department told Daily Mail it would not be releasing the names of those pictured in the images as they have not been charged. Police have 24 hours to bring charges against those arrested, with the suspects appearing to be quickly taken into custody after the shooting began around 3:30 p.m. The mayor, Quentin Lewis, did not offer a statement but remarked during questions from reporters that he would consider blocking a future parade next year. Wow. Like you guys are going to automatically win it next year again? I mean, come on. That's mighty bold. In a separate press interview at 6 a.m. Thursday, Lucas elaborated that he could axe the parade if the Chiefs were to win again out of an abundance of caution. Lucas offered scant new details on the tragedy early Thursday morning and apologized for failing to keep everybody safe at a family event. I'm sorry that this happened yesterday, he said. We worked hard to put an exceptional parade. We spent millions on it, but we failed to keep everybody safe. That's something I have great guilt over. And this has a diagram. It says number one, parade start lasted approximately 1.5 hours. Parade head south to Union Station, started on 6th Street. The parade ends at 12:40 p.m. Hour-long rally starts at Union Station. Players left the stage and took buses to Arrowhead Stadium. Shooting sent thousands scrambling for security. Fan tackled parade shooter and hold him down until cops arrive. A man is detained by law enforcement. One woman was killed and more than 30 people were injured, including 9 children. And there's the DJ that was injured, or that lost her life. I'm sorry. Lisa Lopez Galvan. Prayers for her family and those involved in these shootings that are injured or have critical conditions. Says witnesses described a chilling scene of victims being shot to the ground and people getting trampled by the mayhem. Upward to 1 million people were expected to have gathered in KC for the celebration, exacerbating the frantic scenes as the huge crowds formed a stampede to run for safety. Rick Reichmeyer told KCTV he was separated from his family when the shooting began before witnessing the grisly moment after a woman was shot. When I got up there was a lady probably about 25 feet away from me, and she had blood coming out of her mouth as they were pumping her chest, he said. I was walking away and I heard some shots, some pop, 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 pop. People started running and I ran. Then all of a sudden people started hitting the ground. I hit the ground. People were falling on top of me. There's a shooting victim right there. Another witness who sustained a gunshot wound to his ankle claimed a woman pleaded with a gunman, "Don't do it," seconds before he spun in circles to pepper as many people with bullets as possible. Gooch Jr., who was shot in the chaos alongside his wife and son, that he heard a young woman tell the shooter, "Not here, this is stupid. My wife and daughter saw the gun come out and start shooting." He said, "My daughter and some lady was holding him back, and he pulled the gun out and started shooting and spinning in a circle." Gooch said he didn't, good grief, personally see the gunman, but he was short distance away as he recalled initially thinking the gunshots were fireworks. He said he was shot in the ankle, his wife was shot through the calf muscle, and his son sustained a bullet wound to his foot, but his family were thankful, okay, besides the wounds, and had returned home from the hospital. And that is all on that page. So let's talk a minute about all this. You know, many times whenever there's a shooting, the first thing that gets brought up is the weapon. The weapon caused the carnage. Therefore, let's take away the weapons. As you all know, people that do not obey the law or do not even have any value for human life, as exhibited by this shooting, do you really think they're going to follow the law? Do you think they're going to be getting these weapons legally? I work with juveniles, and most of them that we pick up have weapons that they purchased on the street that are illegal, or they've stolen them from other people's vehicles, homes, or wherever. It's not like they're going into academy and they're buying these weapons and they're they're saying, "Well, um, I need to follow the law. What was I thinking?" It's not like that. A lot of these weapons are hot. A lot of these weapons have been purchased legally, and they've been stolen by people who have no respect for the law, no respect for humanity, and obviously no respect for themselves. Because what type of individual would have a dispute at a celebration rally for their football team winning the Super Bowl? I myself am not I'm not a Chief fan. So, you know, the fact that they won doesn't matter to me. I'm a Chicago Bears fan. But I'm a humanity fan, meaning that I care when innocent people get hurt by ignorance, by the lack of respect of others following the law. I saw on another creator's page this morning where he showed a duffel bag or a backpack and it had clips and a gun hanging out. How could you not see this? They said there was 800 police officers there. How did he get past 800 police officers, one of them, to be able to pull out a gun and to start shooting randomly? It's not like in a dispute, obviously he viewed those other people as enemies, but come on, man. Come on. Look at the people who you injured. Look at the families that are affected because they were injured. Their family members were injured, and one was killed over senseless violence for nothing because you're too cowardly to handle a dispute somewhere else. And if you were going to handle it in gunfire, do it somewhere else where it's just you and the other person. And I know that sounds silly, but at least you'd be keeping innocent people from getting hurt by your ignorance. And we all can have something to say about gun laws and gun violence and everything else. And I'm not trying to retract my words here, but in reality, none of what we say is going to matter until the lawmakers really understand the problem. Is it mental health? Is it the lack of respect for humanity? Is it that people they just don't care anymore? Is it that they just don't care? They don't have an understanding that life is precious. I've heard all the arguments. We're oppressed. We don't have anything to live for. But I think that's a load of crap. I believe that Grand Theft Auto, the video game, and I'm not blaming Rockstar Games or anything like that because people make their own choices. But I believe programming wise, these people that play those games nonstop, they believe that as long as they are shooting a gun at somebody, that they get a restart. We have juveniles stealing cars, wrecking cars, carrying guns. It never fails. While I'm on a video, the dogs either start howling or barking. Never fails. Please excuse that. It's not intentional, I promise. But back to what I was saying is, how are we going to get over this problem? Because it's worldwide. I mean, it's rampant. It's all over the US. Every day there's a shooting somewhere. And it's over somebody's perception about getting even with the masses of something that they've been wronged about. Or just blatant ignorance. How are we going to get past this? How are we going to get over this? How are we going to get back to a society that has care and concern over your fellow man? Have we become such a society where we're brainwashed to believe what the leaders of our country are saying to the extent that we carry out their hatred, their bigotry, their disdain? Are we so brainwashed that we believe that we're greater than what we are? I believe a lot of this has to do with being famous, getting your 15 minutes of fame, knowing that you'll be on every media platform known to man because you did something that you view as extravagant. You know, it's it's really sickening. Honestly, it really is. So if you liked my brief commentary on the Casey shooting, hit a like. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about whether gun laws, whether human decency, or what you believe would bring us back to a normality as a society. Please be respectful. If you have views that are against other people's comment, please be respectful. We can have commentary without violence. Thank you very much. This is 12 Gauge, and I'll talk to you soon.